I'm Jo. My PIN is 7446, and I'm sure that you look at me and you think, don't I look spiritual? I've got makeup on and I look great. Well, let me assure you that normally when I'm doing telephone readings, I'm in my gym jams, which I thought I'd share with you because it's honest. Oh, there's the fluffy ones. And on a really, really bad day, I'm in my big, big cuddly dressing gown that I call Mr. Cuddles. So let me tell you about what you get when you have a reading. I'm a medium, clairvoyant shaman. Okay, so mediumship is about connecting with people that have passed over. Clairvoyance is looking at past, present and future. And shamanic stuff I'll talk about in a bit. Okay, so when I'm doing your reading, it's like I'm watching a film of your life. So I'm sitting there and I'm seeing pictures and images, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that, what I'm seeing, into words for you to understand. I trained originally with the Samaritans when I was 19. I've done counselling courses. I started counselling courses when I decided that I was going to do this work professionally, because I think that it's very important to work in a professional but caring manner. So I went and I trained and I did specialist courses. I did rape and child abuse counselling, but I also did what I call emergency counselling, which is about getting somebody over the first 24 hours of a major emergency. Best counselling course I ever did, and I've used it many, many times when I've been doing readings. I hear my guide talking to me, so not only am I hearing or watching a film about your life, but I've got a verbal commentary coming on. So when I say to you, ask me questions, sometimes I'll answer a question that you're asking before you've even finished asking it, because I've heard my guide talking about that specific issue. What I do need to do is to hear your voice, and a lot of people that are on mobile phones forget to talk into the mouthpiece. Now I connect with your voice vibration, so I need to hear your voice. That's all I need you to do. 1 is breathe. 2 is just give me a few minutes when you at the start of the reading, which I talk you through, just to breathe and to center, to think about what's going on in your life, and then I can do a map and work out and talk you through what I see. And I've done these cards because I've got PTSD and I forget stuff. So I thought I'm just going to share and just be as honest as I am, so that you get to see who I am, what I am and how I work with you. As far as I'm concerned, you're my best friend. You're the most important person in the world. But when you have a reading, you're also stepping into my home. I've got my dogs here and they're around me. And I'm going to tell you about my cards and things in a minute. I look at your jobs. I look at your families. I will explain to you why somebody in your life is behaving in a certain way. And you might think that that person's acting, you know, they're really giving you a hard time. But actually, maybe there might be something that's not quite right with them. And I very often pick up on that. So I will explain to you what's going on, and it's almost like I can literally step into the people around you, tell you how they're thinking and feeling, so that you get an understanding of what's going on in your life from all angles. Okay, I also pick up on people that have passed over. Now, I trained with the National Federation, the Spiritual Federation, and they spent a lot of time working on giving a major description of what the person looked like. What I found was that they had a limited amount of energy. So by the time you've gone through the colour of their shoes, what hat they were wearing, how many teeth they had, the energy had gone. So they'd literally go, love you, bye. So what I do is I will say I've got someone coming in on grandfather energy, or I've got somebody coming in who had a very powerful influence on your life, and describe specific characteristics. They usually show me something that you'll go, yes, I get that, I know who that is. And as soon as you know who it is, I will say to them, what is your message? Now, I did a reading quite recently which was mediumship, and someone said, is my grandmother proud of me? And I said yes, and then I said to them, that's not enough. And then she threw her hand out and she showed me a necklace, and I described the necklace, and the lady went, yes, she left me that in the will. And that to me was genuine confirmation that, one, I was connected with that person, but also, yes, they were proud of them. Okay. I work on a shamanic level as well, so often I will see into your body. I did a reading earlier when I knew that person had neck pain, and I knew that it was down to stress, and explained that to them. We're not doctors, but we do pick up on things, and sometimes I may say to you, go and see the doctor, go and have a full workup, because that will help you. Okay, all right. I also see I connect into past lives, so sometimes you may suddenly have developed a phobia and you don't understand why. You've walked, you know, you've been around water. Sorry about the moving, it's one of the dogs. You've walked around water, you've been around water, you've swum, you've done water sports, and all of a sudden you feel sick. And I might connect in and go, you were a sailor in a past life and you drowned. And it's that aha moment where you suddenly think, yeah, that my arms have prickled, I can take that. And as soon as that happens, you're released from that past life memory, and usually that phobia goes. Okay, so I've been aware all of my life, and I'm not a PC person. When I was a child, I looked up in school, I was about 8 years old, and I just said to the teacher, you're having an affair with a headmaster. And I blurted stuff out. Hopefully now I've become more diplomatic. The way that I look at myself is that I am your best friend. I am in your corner. I am cheering you on. I want the best for you. So when I do your reading, I will look at all aspects of your life and see and tell you directions that you can take that hopefully can support you and get you to a better place. Spirit wants you to be happy. That's all Spirit ever wants for you, is to be happy. I also connect in on animals that have passed over, and I'll never forget connecting in on a rat. Didn't even realise that they had a consciousness, but they do. And this rat came in and talked about the rooms of the house that this person lived in. This rat used to sit on this person's shoulder. Phenomenal message. Okay, so I've also picked up on horses, dogs, cats, birds, all sorts of animals, and it just goes to show that it's a very small world, but our animals love us very much. I try to be honest, but I also hope that I hold you and I make you feel safe and comfortable and loved. You can ask me any questions. I won't get embarrassed. I've done too much in my life to get embarrassed, but you are the centre of this situation, and it's my job to put my arm around your shoulder and to guide you on in the way that Spirit wants your life to move forward. And everything about this earth walk is about you getting to the point of being happy. It's about you understanding yourself, understanding your environment, understanding the people around you, and finding inner happiness. So with that, I'm going to say big hug. Oh, before I go, I will just show you the cards that I read with, and I'll explain to you why I use these cards. And they say never work with animals and children. My daughter's holding the camera and I've got dogs all around me, but I think we're doing okay. Right, so when you ring up, I'm using my paperwork here. I take your name and I write your name down because that's important. I want to know who you are. And I use cards, and the cards are a map. They're a physical, visual map for me. So I will literally shuffle the cards. I lay the cards out on this blue cloth, and this is my layout. It's like a triangle, and it's your present situation, your immediate influence, and it moves on until we come to the outcome. So if you ask me a question about am I going to move house, and then I will look and I step off in different directions, then I'll ask you to ask me another question and I will put out more cards. These cards are called sacred geometry cards, I work with lots of different cards. It's just at this moment in time with my energy, these are the cards that I use. I've got quite a few different guides that drop in and out. I have a Chinese guide who taught me a lot about herbs and plants, and he's also a bit cheeky. So sometimes I have to apologise to you when I'm doing a reading because something may sound cheeky, but there's always a point in it. I have a Native American guide who taught me about animals and connecting in with animal spirits, etc. I have an off-planet guide who is my healing guide. And when I say off-planet, that basically means that he's had no lives on planet Earth. He comes in, he's like 7 feet tall and very fluid, always comes in very flowing robes, big sense of humour, usually comes in on a skateboard. But when he appears, then I know that I'm going to do some energy healing work with someone. Anyway, I hope that that's been of interest. My PIN number is 7446. I'm Jo. I would love to speak to you if you'd like to book a reading. I take care to having a one-on-one with you and helping you to move forward in a positive way in your life. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.